I've lived in Wakefield all my life. I was born in 1963 in Outwood, Wakefield. I love gardening, I love walking, any kind of sport. My main passion outside of work, my main hobby is golf. I live for golf, I breathe golf, and all I do is play golf. I left school in 1979. I got my first job 2 weeks after leaving school. That was as a trainee butcher. In the food industry, you think you've got a job for life, and when they came and told us that we're shutting the factory down, it was absolutely devastating, because I'd not planned for anything else. That was my only skill that I had. Once I had gathered my thoughts from being made redundant, I had watched from the slaughterhouse canteen them build the factory at Coca-Cola. And initially, all the lads were talking to each other and were saying to do shifts over there, 12 hours. And, well, I'm not going to work there. 12 hours? I've never worked 12 hours in my life. But eventually I came round to thoughts that they paid really good money, it was a good career, and it was great prospects. So I set my goal to get a job in Coca-Cola. And in those days, back in '93, the only way to get a job at Coca-Cola was through an agency. So I made it my goal to find out where these people were and booked an appointment. I went to First Choice Recruitment. The first thing I did when I walked in their office, there was a young girl sat on reception, and I don't know what made me say it, but I says, "Have you got any jobs killing anything?" Which was a bit of a strange thing to say. Andy stood up and said, no, we don't have any jobs like that. So at that time, Anne and Andy told me quite bluntly that they wouldn't be able to give me an opportunity at Coca-Cola because they needed 2 years' experience. I accepted that. Didn't know where I was going to go from there because I'd set me out on, getting in at Coca-Cola. So I went home, told my wife, applied for numerous jobs in other factories, and just got nowhere. Out of the blue, after about 3 months, Andy rang me from First Choice Recruitment and asked me if I'd be available to go for some training for some temporary work in Coca-Cola, which I was more than glad to accept. I remember turning up at the gatehouse and I embarked on a 3-day training course. I spent a year loading and making a name for myself. Probably, I would say, the best time of my life at Coca-Cola was when I was the agency. There was so much to learn, so much to do. It was a fantastic time. So after 18 months, 2 years, an opportunity came up. They were setting 24 people on. I applied, and I was one of the lucky people who got made permanent. My next step was to try and move from a T1 to a supervisory role, which I managed to do in 2010. I work in the office. I have 2 areas of responsibility. I'll be in the conventional warehouse looking after the personnel down there, just making sure that the targets that we're set at the start of the shift are achieved by the end of the shift. And that's the same for the ASRS, which is our automated warehouse. It's my responsibility to make sure that we hit those targets, that nobody hurts themselves, that we're all doing things safely, monitoring breaks and things like that. My job is to make sure there's enough space for production lines to make what they're planned to make in that day. I've never worked with as many motivated people who all want to get on. They all want to do well, they all work for each other. If you're willing to move from plant to plant, you can achieve anything in Coca-Cola. It's a fantastic place to work. I'm one of those lucky people who've got a job which I enjoy. I love getting up in the morning, I love coming to work, and I love what I do, and I believe in what I do. So that's a rarity these days, I would say. My family's lifestyle, it's just out of this world. It sounds daft that, but from where I come from, such a humble beginning, my parents not really having very much, to being able to do what I want when I want. My confidence, it's gone through, it's sky high. I'm doing things that I never ever thought that I'd be able to do, and that's going right back to First Choice and giving me that opportunity. I'm living the dream.